My 377th paratrooper is Sylvester Mumaw. Mumaw was born in Sutton, Ohio, but he grew up in Indianapolis, Indiana. He grew up in a broken home and was often beaten by his father. He attended high school for 1 year at Arsenal Tech in Indianapolis before dropping out and working at a silk mill. He entered the military when he was 22 years old, originally the Army, but he later found an opportunity to become a paratrooper. He trained at Fort Benning, Georgia, and in Louisiana, and then eventually in Tennessee at the paratrooper trials. While in Tennessee, one interesting fact was that he was in a war game and he found a moonshine distillery, stole some moonshine, got passed out drunk, and him and his buddy got captured by the other team. Another interesting thing I found about Mumaw is after the invasion in Normandy, he was captured and he was taken to a German German camp on the Baltic Sea. He was then freed by the Russians, which I found interesting because they weren't exactly so friendly to Americans, and they were often seen as kind of our second enemy, and he wasn't sure if he would ever see home again. He was then taken to Ukraine and to Odessa, where he found an American naval officer, and he was eventually saved and brought back to America. I think the impact that the war had on his life was that he saw that the paratroopers saw the pilots, and he probably became infatuated with planes, and he ended up wanting to go get his pilot's license. So he went to pilot school in Indiana. He then roomed with one of his buddies who's also trying to become a pilot, and he went out on a date with another girl whose roommate was his buddy's girlfriend, but she ended up not going out with him. So as he was walking back, he saw his buddy, and his buddy set him up with his buddy's cousin, and that's who he ended up marrying. And then they moved to Grand Rapids, Michigan, and they have 5 great-grandchildren who are probably alive today. If I could ask him how it shaped my view of the war, learning about him was just the different battles that they fought, whether it was Sylvester in Normandy, just the detail and preparation, or the other men when they went on to Market Garden, the Battle of the Bulge, and Birch's Garden, and they just the detail they had and just the personal fighting stories they had. I think it was really cool and really personal to see that. And then 2 questions I would have would be, would he have any regrets about going to war or the way everything turned out, not finishing high school, which I doubt he would have any regrets. And then the other question I would ask him would be what it was like in the prisoner of war camp, how the German soldiers were and the other prisoners around him.